I have a number of thoughts on why America is not as competitive or innovative as it should be from its student population, for example. But that's an entirely different segment. It doesn't have that much to do with student loan forgiveness. Although I hear Colin's points and I think they're quite good. I want to distill it down to really the basics here. And I wore something special for you guys today. I don't know if you can see it. The words of Michelle Obama, it is what it is. It is what it is. My generation has sort of been living with this sense of, yeah, student loans, it is what it is. It's this heavy burden you must take on if you want to move forward in society. And I think that's wrong. When I talk about my generation, I talk about millennials born after 1981. I talk about this lack of financial literacy all the time in my generation, where we were not at all schooled or educated in any way by any force, whether it's private or public, about what it means to take on a massive amount of debt for your everyday life. So one thing I've seen happen in later millennials is just to live with it. And frankly, the repercussions of living with it seem less and less all the time. So I don't want to diminish those who are really advocating for full-on cancellation. I come from somebody who was extremely privileged and got a gift of no student loan debt. I want to be very open and honest about that, because it is tough for people like my husband, for example, who went on and got a terminal degree, got an MD, and lives with debt to this day at the age of 40. So now we as a couple, I took that on when I married him 7 years ago. This is a reality for Americans everywhere, that you've got to think about your loans in some way, shape, or form. And it does complicate people's lives. It does complicate their ability to go out there and do more for themselves, which I always talk about when I come here, is moving that station in life. It's no joke that Americans collectively have 1.7 trillion, not million, billion, trillion in student loan debt. And I think it's absurd. So I think we need a real conversation about American higher education. We used to say in the early days of this COVID pandemic, we'll do it after this pandemic washes over. Here we are entering year 3. We know that people, thanks to President Biden, won't have to deal with this until May. But do people even know how to start when repayments begin? Do they even know how to properly do that? My answer to that is I don't think so. But I also don't know that canceling it all outright is a good answer. We know that public opinion is in one place. We know that over 50% of voters do support it, with Republicans, not wanting it so much, and older voters not wanting it so much. Older voters, are saying, hey, why cancel? I had to deal with this. But in general, I just think we've lacked the entire conversation here. We've been really lacking as a society on talking about how we talk about our finances responsibility, how we move forward on paying loans back responsibly, and even taking on things such as home mortgages and dealing with credit card payments. I mean, this is just something, to me, the average American does not have to deal with. I had a gift, and I still felt very, very lost when I came out of a 4-year college. So I just, this is a tough conversation to have, because I understand the plight of lower income Americans. But at the same time, I'm also thinking, where are we going to get people back on track? And I don't know that cancellation's the answer. I don't think so entirely. But I like the pause. I like the pause.